Hello there, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to episode number 2 of my devlog series about creating a Yu-Gi-Oh card collection app. The software isn't built in a day, and the changes that I make isn't made on the same day, which is why I didn't have my face on the video last time, simply because it would mean that I would record at different times, continuity errors, especially when 2 months passes in the making of the video. Then my appearance change, and yeah, that's not necessarily the best. So I'll start with the face on, just so you get to see me. I don't know, it was feedback. Someone asked, hey, do I really have to watch this video without seeing your face? And I'm like, I mean, it was what was easy to edit, right? It's not because I'm trying to hide. For today's video, I want to implement a search function, simply because it's very hard to have a card collection if you can't search up the cards that you want to add your collection. So I feel like being able to search is one of the most essential features that I can implement, hence why it's gonna be one of the first features I'm gonna implement. Now that's it for my face. Let's just jump into where it actually makes sense for you guys to see something. Okay, we are back in the app here. You can see I've added the search bar, or at least what appears to be a search bar. It doesn't actually do anything, it just has some styling. We still have the button here. I've centered things so it looks a little bit neater, even though this is not useful at all for the final app. But for demonstration purposes, it looks a little bit better. You can now click on the thing. It doesn't jump around the page when you do it, and it goes away. How I achieved this was fairly complicated, actually. I changed the whole way you fetch from the API. I had a pretty simple implementation of Axios. Axios is like a boosted version of the regular JavaScript fetch function. It has a little bit better error handling, hence why I chose to use it. But then at my work, I was introduced to Redux Toolkit Query, or RTK Query, which makes it way easier to fetch information multiple times, as the fetching is done inside of a hook instead. And you can see here how that would look like. Hooks are exported down here, and then basically you enter the endpoints here. It was a little bit hard to set up, but now it means that I just need to call these hooks whenever I want to fetch data from the API. And we can see that in here. I simply say call a hook. This is to get it by name, which means it will return all cards that match the name here. This is Dark Magician, so only Dark Magician will be fetched here. Then it returns with data, and here's where it gets really smart. Not only can you recall it the same with hooks, it also gives you loading state, success states, which means that I can do like this. Is it loading? If it's loading, then here you would maybe typically have a loading spinner. I just wrote loading. If not, then push out the Dark Magician card, essentially. And then it clicks away now as well. Let's go and implement the rest.
1 week later.
And will you look at that? It looks the exact same. However, now we get to do something like this. Dark Magician. Et voila! You get the top 3 results for Dark Magician. It's not the most pretty, but it works. You can search now for any card you desire. Now, I wasn't planning on fixing this, but my friend pointed it out to me, and ever since it's kind of stuck with me. If you, for example, were to search dark, then the order might be different than what you would expect. So the reason is that the way the API works is it just checks if a card has dark in its name. It seems like the order is not filtered or not ordered. It would be nice if the first results would be cards that actually started with dark, for example, Dark Magician. So I guess I have to do that now that I've said it. Yeah, it took a while, you know, having a full-time job and being very new. It makes everything a lot harder. It seems very simple, but behind the scenes, it was a struggle. But that's it. If you click the button, nothing happens. If you press enter, nothing happens. You get this if it doesn't exist. But let's go back to dark here. If you click one of the results here, nothing happens. I would like to implement a feature where if you click one of the top results, you'll get taken to that card. And if you just hit enter, you should get taken to a page that just loads all the cards in your search query in a grid, and you can choose whichever card you desire. And here we are. I fixed it. Sort of. Kind of. I'll show you. Okay, so we go dark, and then it fixes it. See, it goes dark, and then it's ABC after that. Pretty cool, pretty neat. But if I go dark, oh, that's not what you would expect. Dark, magic attack, it's a bit weird. It's a bit laggy. It's a bit weird, and the search is jumping all over the place after I implemented this gray background, just to indicate that this should actually be a navigation bar. So yeah, let me just fix that. And wouldn't you know, it looks the same again. But the search, still the same. I decided that that was a bit too hard to change. I will have to go back and rethink it later, but the point remains, for this MVP, you can actually search up your card. So if you want Dark Magician, if I can spell it, there you go, it shows up. And the search bar isn't jumping all over the place right now. It took me a while to figure out that this bar right here should have position absolute, that's to not push the other one on top of it all over the place. But now, the moment you all been waiting for, the feature that actually makes this video done, is that you search and then you go every card that has Dark Magician in it. Let's go. There you go. There you have it. Every card that has Dark Magician in the name. It doesn't, right now, it's only search for the name, so it's not searching any card that might be mentioning Dark Magician or that might be related to Dark Magician in any way. It's just the cards. So yeah, there you have it. That will be all of them. That'll be it for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Little teaser. I have no way of going back to the main page, so you should probably implement a logo up here. And yeah, since just showing the cards isn't very helpful, this is just a collection of the cards, right? We want to be able to add them to our collection, and so that will be next up in this journey, to actually add them. Alright, let's see if it'll be good or not. See you guys in the next video. Bye bye.